everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Yes, we're doing a blind tasting, and we're doing a blind tasting of Sancerre, the place that exudes great passion for Sauvignon Blanc, because that's what it is. It's Sauvignon Blanc. Sancerre is located on the east side of the Loire Valley. Very interesting about Sancerre is closer to Puy-Fumé than it is to Touraine or to Vouvray, which are way on the west side. So that's how big the Loire Valley is. And Sancerre is a little town on a kind of a bean-shaped hill overlooking the valley where they grow the grapes of Sancerre. And they are Sauvignon Blanc, mostly Sauvignon Blanc. About less than 20% are red wines, which is Pinot Noir. Now, an interesting thing before we get started in this blind event is that pre-phylloxera in the mid-1800s, mid-19th century, it was primarily Chasselas, which is a French white grape. Chasselas, they did a lot of Gamay and they did Pinot Noir. So it's predominantly red wines. Well, phylloxera hit, ruined the vines. They figured out that they could put American rootstock, which is resistant to phylloxera, which is a little bug that gets in and ruins the vines. And so they grafted the vines onto these American rootstocks, and they found out that Sauvignon Blanc did really well with these American rootstocks. So after the phylloxera virus was taken care of in that area, it became predominantly Sauvignon Blanc and just a splash of Pinot Noir. So there you go, a little history about Sancerre and Sauvignon Blanc. We're going to get started right away. Give this a little rinse. Sancerre has basically three different types of soil. It has the chalk soil. It is very close to Burgundy, so you're talking, especially Chablis has very chalky soil. It also has limestone gravel soil, and then it has silex or flint soil, which is predominant in Puy-Fumé, Fumé meaning smoke. So sometimes that flinty soil will give some Sancerre a kind of smoky characteristic. There you have it. Just a little rundown on Sancerre. Number one. This is exciting. I love Sancerre. It's more expensive than most Sauvignon Blancs. Maybe you would have to go to, in New Zealand, maybe Cloudy Bay. You might get up into the area of Sancerre. So a little bit golden in color, almost kind of a hay gold there. Let's see what we get on the nose. I get like a lemon curd. Lemon curd, whoa, spilling on myself. A little bit of grass coming through on this one. And you can kind of get that minerality, maybe wet stone, gravel sort of thing coming through. Also getting a little bit of melon as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Definitely has a grassy characteristic. You get that kind of chalkiness to this one, as well as there's definitely crushed rock coming through. That lemon curd is on the palate with a little bit of melon. I'm even getting a touch of passion fruit, which is really cool. So this is probably a warmer part of Sancerre, and you get this warmer side of Sancerre. You can get that passion fruit. I'm definitely getting passion fruit, lemon curd, gravel, a little bit of chalkiness, and definitely some grass on the back end. Great integration of fruit and minerality. The acidity is nicely balanced. It's not super acidic, which they don't tend to be. They're not like New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs necessarily. I like this one. It has just that nice chalky kind of gravelly mouthfeel in it with the passion fruit and the lemon curd. Loire Valley is famous for goat cheese, so guess what? Sancerre goes good with goat cheese. Just so you know, I love goat cheese. Humboldt Fog is one of my favorite. Beautiful wine, well made, good balance. A little bit of expansion. That passion fruit comes through on the mid palate. Finishes with that good dose of minerality. A little bit of cut grass. I like it a lot. This is there's my marker. So let's see. We're going to grade it, and then I'll reveal afterwards. All right. Let's move on. Number two. Sometimes these blind tastings can take a little bit longer, so bear with me. I know you guys like them. I've gotten a lot of comments. A lot of you like these blind episodes. You see the glass kind of steaming up a little bit. I've got them colder, which I think most of you will drink them colder, just saying. Let's see what we get on the nose with this one. About the same color, a little lighter actually than the first one. Man, this is like sticking my nose in a chalk, limestone, just definitely a grass element coming through on this one. I get passion fruit on this one as well, which is interesting. 2 in a row. This leans mostly towards passion fruit, a little bit of apple and melon coming through. No apple, let's skip the apple, just melon and passion fruit. Almost like a honey characteristic as well, which is very interesting. As you would think, Sancerre is very good with shellfish, oysters, clams, mussels, any of those. So the minerality on this one is very strong on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Oh, this is very funky on the palate. The acidity is very linear on this. Kind of cuts your tongue on the backside. I'm getting nettle on the palate. Didn't get that on the nose. Sometimes when you do drink them cold, the aromatics don't come out as much. That's why a lot of wine gurus like to drink them on the closer to room temperature. I don't do that because I know most of you don't. Man, the acidity on this really, really pops on the finish. Nettles, lemon, passion fruit. Definitely, this. I'm not sure the soil composition of all these, but this has a limestone characteristics to it. Really, really brightens up. Gets citrusy on the finish, big time. Loads of citrus. We're talking lemon, orange, citrus. It's all there on the finish. Boy, this is a palate ride. I like the first one, but this one really, really rocks the palate with a lot of different, very complex. Expands on the mid palate, get that passion fruit on the mid palate, then it just kind of morphs into this really citrusy. So the citrus takes over on the finish. That orange, lemon, citrus kind of dominates the passion fruit. But this has good balance. Man, talk about a shellfish wine. Man, if I had some mussels right now, I'd be in heaven. I would be in heaven, just saying. The minerality is in the background, front to finish. Long finish, delicious finish. I'm digging that one. I'm digging it. Okay. This might be a tight race, just saying. Now, I don't buy Sancerre a lot because of the amount of money it costs. It's not cheap. That was a big rinse. Didn't want to do that. I'm rinsing because they are different. I mean, obviously, number 1 and 2 were different. Same and different. You know what I mean? All right. Number 3. Ooh, that's a funkified on the nose if I've ever smelled a wine. This is funky. This has a tiny hit of bubblegum, which is interesting. This leans towards passion fruit as well. These must be from warm vintages. I get a hit of a little bit of grass, a little bit of veggie going on the nose. But dominant passion fruit. A little bit of orange coming through as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Before I do that, color, same as number 2. The number 1 seemed to be the darkest of the bunch, which may be because it had maybe a little older vintage. I don't know. This is going to be a tough one, boys and girls. Minerality, big time on the finish. Right through the palate, you get that passion fruit, and then there's just in kisses and little hits of orange citrus, a little bit of lemon citrus coming through as well. Man, this is a mouth-watering Sancerre right here. This one also has excellent balance, a long finish. The acidity is nicely integrated, but it's powerful just like number 2. And I'm making my mouth water. Seriously, guys, I need some mussels. I need some clams. I need some oysters. Right now, these would be perfect. It's interesting lately, and this is what made me want to do a Sancerre episode, is at the store where I run the wine department, Sancerre has been taken off. Crazy. Now, there's the grass elements come through, the veggie comes through a little bit on the back end. Yeah, nice Sancerre. This is going to be fun. On to number 4. Number 4. Wow. Boy, I tell you, I'm going to have to eat something when I get done with this episode. Too bad I don't have some goat cheese. I don't. Maybe some Cambozola. Oh, that'd be interesting. Alright, number 4. Boom. Okay. They're pretty much all the same color. This is kind of a hay goldish color on it. I think the number 1 was the darkest of the bunch. Let's see if we get on the nose. Ooh, this is dusty. This is like dusty minerality. Like dusty rocks. What a crazy. They're all been different in very minute ways, some larger than others. This is the most dominant nose in the minerality department. I get some passion fruit on this one as well. Yeah, I'm slopping it big time. A little funk action, you know, you get a little of that funkiness coming through on the nose. Get a little lemon and passion fruit and a little bit of orange citrus on this one. Let's see what we get on the palate. That dusty minerality right up front was interesting. This is like passion fruit and cut grass and a little bit of orange citrus, a little bit of lemon citrus. You know that lemon curd thing going on with this one as well. The minerality is there. It doesn't come through as strongly on the palate as it did on the nose. Not quite as linear as the 2 and 3. A little bit soft on the backside. Still a delicious wine for sure. Good balance. A little light on the back end on this one. This one doesn't come through as strongly as the other three did. It's still very good. I'll be curious to see where it falls in the price point wise. The minerality lingers on the back side. This is just a little bit lighter than the other three. Almost get like a Fruit Loopy thing coming on through without the sweetness. You know, just those flavors of lime, orange, that sort of thing. Lemon. Now it does feel on the backside, it's very, very chalky minerality on the back end of this one, which a lot of you might like. I'm taking a lot of drinks off this because I don't want to be too rough on it, but compared to the other three, it's still very good. I would do a nah on this one if it was the most expensive one of what I have. But it's still a very good Sancerre, nice finish, like that chalky minerality on the finish, kind of like that kind of Fruit Loopy, you know, the lemon, lime, orange thing going on. But just a little bit weaker than the other two as far as intensity on the palate. That's the way I'm going to put it. Okay, so now we're going to line them up and reveal them. Okay, so number 4, last place. Number 3, number 1, third. Number 3, boom, and number 2, boom. So in last place with a BB+, which is a great grade. Curious which one this is. This is the, oh, wow. Ooh, I don't like to see this. Do not like to see this. This is the La Pierre Saget Sancerre BB Plus 2019. It rolls in at $40. It was good, but if the other ones are cheaper, I'd pass on that one. So, with an A-, number 1. Henry Natter Sancerre 2019, same vintage, and the Natter rolls in at $32. I'm telling you guys, 32, 40. I take the 32 one over the 40. And I like Saget. They make great wines. But yeah, that's just, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. In second place with a straight up A. So A-. Ooh. The Domaine Curat Sancerre 2020. A little fresher. This rolls in at $35. Domaine Curat, North Berkeley imports this. Good Sancerre. Yeah. And in first place, number 2. I thought this one was a wild ride in the mouth. You know, just really exciting on the palate. You know, did a lot of things. Funky, cool, good complexity. A+, guys. What do we got here? This is the Domaine André Vaton 2019 Sancerre Les Charmes, which has to be the name of the vineyard. This rolls in at $29. Domaine André Vaton, $29. Out of all these, I think they're all more expensive. 35, 32, $40. They were all excellent, but I'm very happy with this one at $29. That's pretty cool. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. By the way, make a comment. Do you like the blind episodes? I've gotten a lot of comments on it, but I just want to know, should I keep pursuing these? They're a little harder to set up. They take a little bit longer, but I think they're fun. I do. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I don't know why that's a tongue-tying thing for me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends about this program. I hope you're enjoying it. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars.